No problem. Appreciate you
I
too.
haven't seen you in forever, man. It's been too long.
Yeah, I dip in and out of reality here and there.
Well, I feel you. You have a cat moon. I have a cat sun. I feel you on that. I'm right there with you.
Right.
So we are going to talk about some exciting shit today. um, we're, for those of you that don't know, which I'm pretty sure all of you do, I'm just going to jump right into it because the energy in here is just fucking popping, dude. It's fucking great. Uh,
Nice.
um, this is my man, my friend, my super homie, the peace dealer. He's actually the one that really initially inspired me to really dig deep into astrology. When I first saw him on Lada of astrolada.com, when he was doing his reports on there, it's like every single word just like it felt like he was talking directly to me, right? And I got a reading from him actually when I was living in California, I think in 2016, 17,
17, 2017.
17. And after that reading, like I moved back to Vegas and then we just started hanging out and it was through Mike how I met Maru, Sun Soul Astrology. So me and Mike have been boys for a long time, and we've been kicking it, and we've been through a lot. We've done a few ayahuasca ceremonies together. We've done combo together. We've done man, we did a couple sweat lodges together.
Sweat lodge. There we go.
we
That's all I was trying to do.
we've manifested a lot of stuff, and this man is one of the front runners of this consciousness evolution that we've been seeing in this world. So I'm really, really excited and grateful to have you on here today, brother. Thank you so much for coming on. And I want to jump into, and you know what, dude? This whole community was created from my inspiration that I got from you, man.
Wow, that's an honor. Appreciate you.
Fuck yeah, dude.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So, so everybody, welcome. Thank you guys so much for showing up. This is especially exciting because, since I've known Mike, every year I've gotten a solar return chart done, which is, AKA a birthday horoscope, basically for the year. We're going to jump into the 2021 energies, and he's going to look into my 2021 energies, and I just kind of wanted you guys to see what a solar return chart looks like and feel out how the peace dealer channels his energy. And again, like usual, if you guys have any questions, put it in the chat, and I will go ahead and I ask Mike the questions, and I will basically let Mike take the reins, man. Mike, it's your show, brother.
So, are you gonna be in Vegas, January 1st?
Yes.
Actually, this is 2020. How about December 31st? You're gonna be in Vegas. Okay.
I plan on it, yeah.
Perfect. So I'm gonna share my screen. Oh, this is Vegas view. All right, perfect. Got a lot of tabs. Oh, I do need permission to share my screen.
Oh shit, yeah.
If I make it.
Here, I will make you co-host, okay?
Perfect.
Does that work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
All right. And once again, really honored to share space with all of you. I really do hope y'all gain any bit of insight or expertise from this reading. The solar return chart from me has been exceptionally accurate, almost hauntingly, frighteningly accurate. And it was 2017 that made me a believer, because I thought that this was junk astrology. I didn't know how like the dates coming on your birthday meant anything for the year ahead. And the year I met Justin was actually the year I had my solar return in my 10th house. And that year of career, I broke through in career. I never really needed to work a 9 to 5 again, because I was able to make what I do full time. So that let me know solar returns are legit. So the sun position is so very key. we see that, Justin, you have your solar return in the 8th house. However, it's interesting because the rising sign is 29 degrees Taurus. So based on the equal sign system, um, or whole sign, if you'd like to use it. If we're doing whole sign system, this definitely will be a 9th house solar return. But with the equal sign system, 29 degrees of mastery is important because you're mastering an aspect of yourself this year, which is very key. One thing I learned about the Taurus rising, Taurus is I have. So you have your AC. This is now the self-made individual. So barring on any existing current business, you know, development or new developments, you may self make a new aspect of your own identity. Once again, the year I became Magic Mike, the moon was in my rising on Virgo. And so the moon I kind of see as like intuitive magic. And it wasn't until Virgo season came through that, first of all, during Leo season, I went to go see the Leo King in Vegas. Then I was like, I need to go to Vegas. Virgo season came through around then. That's when I moved to Vegas. That's when I became Magic Mike. And so that's what made me realize, well, this is accurate. But I didn't realize that until, you know, in retrospect. So we definitely want to honor Taurus season because that's when a very innovative, radical sense of yourself will manifest. So this year, I think the year after 2017, I had the 8th house solar return. And that year after I had a 12th house, so I was pretty isolated. I did go in a lot, but this was when I started working with you, and you took me to the certain ceremonies. And I didn't realize as an 8th house, that was actually my transformation. So we see, right. And, you know, all power to you because you've definitely been quite, I didn't realize until recently, like you really helped show me the 8th house archetype. Even though Capricorn is my 9th house. You showed me what the 8th house of that looks like, and the 9th house too, because it was attached here. So I'm going to say that because this is technically a 9th house Saturn return for you. This is the year you ascend high up there. And this year is going to have you maybe even travel to share the knowledge. You know, you're going to be highly seeked out because this is going to set you up as an authority figure of knowledge. This is going to also really burst forth. And that makes sense. Given everything you've done daily, this is going to put you in a position for people to look at you as more of an authority. And the reason why this is more of an ascension is the attachment to the 9th house. But in the 8th house, it's a transformational ascendancy. So you're going through transformation. This may have you kind of dive deep into your own physiological connection to your emotions, and how emotions, you know, create physiological responses. But because it's linked to the 9th house, it's an ascension. This is also going to show how you're teaching people. You're going to break down nitty gritty the occult all year as far as the wisdom and secrets of the occult, especially pertaining to, I hate to be too vague, not just business, but the organizational quality of how, since Capricorn is the completion, Capricorn is a self-realized individual. So it's really teaching people the biohacks that could also go into how to, you know, self-realize themselves and mainly transform, because this is third decan Pluto energy. And we want to once again honor that the solar return I had was in Gemini, so it was just the sun in Gemini. You have Mercury, you have Pluto. You're going to be definitely aware of demonic and dark facets of individuals, but that's really more so to bring it up to a head for it to be addressed, as we hate the sinner, not the sin, or we hate the sin, not the sinner, my bad. And this is really going to bring out that, it's going to really bring an extreme reaction. It's going to bring an obsessive quality. So definitely expect more people to kind of definitely deal with more stalkers, or people who might want to deal with you more. And that's the whole boundary drawing element of the 8th, 9th house. But we want to
More fucking stalkers, man.
Right. We come into your door like they're coming to my door, but like it's definitely more so this notion of taking what's in the 8th, but teaching and showing people in the 9th. there's that theme of coming out of the darkness. And I really feel like starting the solar return is going to be so key, because after the eclipse, you got Venus on the south node. And so there's a very amazing gift unlocking in the heart. I feel like this is related to your daughter too, and breakthroughs concerning that. But outside of her, outside of that, we got the pars of fortune and the south node, making it a very lucky year. With solar returns, of course, we want to see a 6-month manifestation cycle. So it starts in Capricorn, and this is what's going to manifest Cancer season. And so we want to think Aquarius, you're setting the bricks in place. Pisces season, which will go through Aries season, Taurus season, Gemini season, and bam, you complete the solar return Cancer season, manifest that. You manifest in Leo what you did Aqua, you manifest in Virgo what you did Pisces. And like we have that. Right. So once again, Sagittarius season next month is going to give us all the full picture of everything that's been happening. That's going to give us the decisions we need to make moving into Capricorn to take incredible action. And that's where you start your solar return. So it's definitely we want to see this as the road to your first house, because from now till May is you setting everything in place. Similar, if I use the 2017 solar return, I didn't know it was going to be Magic Mike when I first got to my birthday, right? So my birthday was in June, and then I had to meet Lada's manager at the time, who helped me get the job. And then this led to me going to the Leo King. But the first chapter for me didn't start personally, I feel, until the first house, when it was in Virgo. So we want to see the setup happening from now till May. And this is a very powerful, illustrious setup. We got Neptune in its dignity in Pisces. We got Mars direct by this point in its dignity in Aries. And the North Node in Gemini means another facet of this year is you're going to unlock true value. You're going to unlock the true value of your personality. It's aligned with the truth of who you are, which every experience is going to show other people what they mean. And as they come into that enlightenment, that reveals more who you are, because of now the balance of what's occurred. And then their Neptune T square is going to clear up any fog or misconception around projections towards you with real experience that defines your character. But once again, the Gemini is the second house, and this is where we want to honor the mastery, because you've mastered every house here. So this is just kind of like owning this to the next level. So one major facet coming into June that you'll unlock is the truth of you relative to this year as a manifester, as a boss this year. And another thing is it's going to open up such great opportunity for income, because when we have the North Node transiting close to the second house, square something in Pisces now, like an outer planet, you want to write down any ideas you have for apps or money making ideas, because you will make millions, like buku amounts of money utilizing social media, right? This is taking your brand this year, and now with the social inner, because Aquarius is collective. The 4 collective signs are the last 4 signs. So individual thoughts are Gemini, social thoughts like us connecting right now is Libra, and then there's the collective, right? So you're pushing your brand out to the collective. You've completed the purpose of Capricorn for everyone really is we've self-realized ourselves, we've completed a facet of our character. And now in Aquarius is guild wars. Aquarius is now putting you out into a place to network accordingly with the right people who can be open to this part of your brand. And so I'm going to touch on this lightly, but this is all a part of a war cycle, because March 21st, 2021. Oops. Okay.
Yeah, what is Theta Watcher? I heard somebody say that was down or something.
It was down yesterday.
Oh, was it?
But it's back up, thankfully. So this is your solar return. Oops. Is okay. Your solar return is 24 degrees, 10 degrees. Pluto's 24. I just kind of want to reference this because March 21st, the apocalypse cycle started. We got Jupiter in its fall. It's an exaltation in Cancer, which is famine. And then Mars is obviously war. Whenever we had the last time we had Pluto on I actually go back like 1963. Last time we had Pluto in Cancer on Jupiter, there was like the H1N1 virus. And
Oh,
then it was also in Virgo around 68. There was like the H2N3 virus. And so it's not a coincidence that coming back around now, we got the coronavirus, except it's Saturn. So this kind of alludes maybe to some sense of manufacturing here. But the purpose here is we got pestilence with Pluto. We know Pluto's pestilence because whenever it appeared with Jupiter, there was some kind of pandemic. And then Saturn is, of course, the Reaper, it's death. So we have all four horsemen of the apocalypse starting a cycle. The first day of Aries season. This is the official start of the apocalypse. Of course, because we're coming into the new age of Aquarius, so we're finally finishing out the old age of Pisces, as Pluto will come through Aquarius and Pisces. And then so the major facet, of course, concerning Guild Wars deals with how, if you check out my World War Zero episode about the Divine RPG, Guild Wars is 2020 and 21, where coming out of Jupiter and Capricorn, which is the recruitment phase, Jupiter and Aquarius is where people start to take their guilds against each other. I didn't know how this would look until now that you see on the news people saying, oh, we probably need to shame people who voted for this person. And then other people are saying that. So we're starting to see this form. And the reason why I have to say this is Saturn and Jupiter is in the epicenter of this for you. So you're going to be able to exploit this energy to massively reach out to people. Not so much just in a nonpartisan way, because truth doesn't take sides. So
right.
this is something that could appeal to people who agree with you, who don't agree with you, as the main facet of your legacy this year, which is so important. You may very well be famous, honestly, because like Jupiter is going to expand the MC reputation, public aspect of you,
Okay.
and expand the knowledge you put out there. You're going to be put on networks that give you the opportunity to put your message out there. And it's even doper because I appreciate that about Capricorns and about you, because we know Capricorn manifests the collective. So I'm walking into the Zoom call and there's so many people, and it speaks of how people. Like, this is why Capricorns are so powerful. You can mob up with like hundreds of people. That's power in who you know. And so as a Capricorn sun, you're manifesting and monetizing your collective. As a Aries rising, this is actually going to put you in a fame. Let me just say it right now. Like, it's not like socializing, because it's your 11th house, right? So Jupiter in the 11th. Funny story for me, when Jupiter transited my natal 11th, I was studying electrical engineering at UTEP, and I had met because I'm Taurus rising, so my 11th house is Pisces. And a Pisces walked up to me because he was also Nigerian, and he introduced himself and connected me to the circle of friends and associates that I would know that cycle, which is the 11th house. So maybe it might be an Aquarius for you. If not, it's definitely going to Jupiter expand your influence, give you so much more followers on Instagram and YouTube. And then Saturn is going to make you an authority here. So that's the difference between just like being popular versus being the go-to guy for knowledge. And that's mainly because of all this stuff that you've expressed before that's resonated with people. It's really putting you on that position so that serious scientists and also serious people can look at you, challenge you, and also, interact with you. This is going to be amazing breakthrough concerning that. And
Rich, you listening?
what was that?
My man Rich, that's on here. Him and I are making some plans for doing some business here in the future. So just want to make sure.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. And all power to you, because this definitely Jupiter and Saturn so close together, and then the moon in Leo is definitely going to make this year very passionate, very exciting. It's all about mixing the intellectual genius with Aquarius with the passion of how to make it fun. So you're not just like, on the computer telling people what is. It's interactive. It's actually, people are going to want to tune into it. But yeah, so the first part of this so before we go into the solar return, we know the nature of it. It's eighth, ninth house. This is all about transformation. So you're ascending to the next level this year. For sure.
The eighth house has to do with like intuition and sexuality too.
Yes. Oh yeah. Deeper intimacy. More realistically, we want to see it dealing with other people's resources. So this is money. This is a money year because you're gonna have to be, of course, it's the house of trust because if I'm your client, I need to trust you with my credit card info. I need to trust you with what you're counseling me with. That's why in a sign of integrity, this is gonna really break you through forward a lot. There's definitely, we see the square with Mars and Pluto when you might have to deal with a couple accusations or so, or one that tests your character, but this is actually going to be a good thing because you'll show that you're not that type of person, and that will add to your credibility because, but this doesn't have to happen, but just be mindful of that because Pluto Mars can kind of bring some kind of squares are outside influences and opposition, so just be very mindful of that. Even outside of sexuality, people taking an extreme attitude towards you because of the conservative values or actions that you represent, people projecting stuff on you that isn't true because of what you believe. And so you're going to be bringing this real transformation to other people too. It's almost as if like you'll be biohacking and transforming their body. And so coming into the first part of this, first of all, we know that this is the nature of the year. We also want to take into account Venus. I feel like Venus square Neptune is serendipitous change in love, and even in just how you sponsor ascension for other people. Ascension meaning like because of you, people go and break through to the next level. You connect someone to someone. Even me doing this right now, even, and that's the cool thing with the solar return. It's not your solar return yet, but we can see we're in the Scorpio season part. So you're preparing your behavior and lifestyle to step into this or relationships. So yeah, other than that, from now to or from January to Aries season, or we can say from January to May, this is you setting up the solar return. So you're really going to come into where you are now. The purpose of this first part, activating a cycle, is to bring up the challenges necessary for what we're going to change and complete. And so Capricorn season will show you where you're at, because coming into July, you'll manifest and complete this ascension and transformation, and now manifesting more powerful, sincere value, taking the ascended nature of your belief and fleshing it into a sincere attitude where you're practicing what you preach because you've seen the vision, and now you worked to over 6 months bring it into reality, into the way you take these beliefs about yourself and actually sincerely express that. So this is where we manifest this initially Aquarius season. Of course, by January, this energy has shifted into Aquarius. And this is where you're going to go hardcore into producing the knowledge that you're going to get ready to teach the world with. In fact, come Aquarius, you may already start doing online courses or showing and teaching. I really do feel there'll be great opportunities for you. And remember, this is your natal 11th house. So it's going to key you into who's your real friends. Saturn's going to weed away people who just waste your time and replace it with people who actually have integrity. And Jupiter is going to really connect you with influential people, people with a lot of followings. Be like, yo, your video really spoke to me, and this is a really great network month. And that's really going to flesh out also the meaning and the knowledge that you'll show people. Coming into Pisces season, which will begin the process of changing the world around you. Remember, even though this is in the 10th house and we're going to manifest the everything you've manifested the knowledge of, you're now going to express in Pisces, begin to show people. This will begin to kind of change the career direction. But because Pisces is your 11th house, it will also give you gains from this career. And thankfully, you'll already start to manifest a lot of the work being put in with Jupiter's influence here. Because Neptune is squaring the North Node, this will also give you a bit of a perceptual insight abstractly, maybe as an intuition, or remember in the 10th, 11th house, where how you're perceptually going to align your career so that by Virgo season, this is practically manifested. And then that's what's going to lead into Aries season. Aries season is the first checkpoint where now the square from 8th to 11th is trust issues, because you don't always know who you can trust with what you do and what you have or what's personal. And this Aries season will now promote assertive masculine action to flesh that out, to break through with who you can trust more. Of course, this is attached to the 12th house, so you'll be releasing older mechanisms that get in the way of you personally expressing. By this point in Aries season, Mars will be in Gemini. So you'll be moving towards, of course, the truth of yourself that you're aligning, but really the true value you're manifesting. You're manifesting destiny using the resources of how you hold space for others to show you what they mean to you. And really, I wish I can explain this better, but this Venus Pars of Fortune South Nodal aspect, I feel is extreme luck. So Pisces season where it squares will give you the first part of insight, kind of letting you know how relationships with others influence the direction of your career and what further boundaries need to be drawn. Aries season is going to be major breakthrough because this is what's going to show you how to align what spiritual beliefs about yourself you need to release to ascend to the next level, and how you could also be more assertive. Chiron is here. It's going to heal more masculinity you may have held back to really assert more. And this is where we come into Taurus season, which will unconventionally align the manifestation of everything you're transforming about yourself into your personality. This is where, coming into Taurus season, the knowledge you're getting ready to produce, you're now aligning with your brand and how you materially and physically package that. So it's not just an idea. Now it's tangible. Now it's more physical. And that's really the first checkpoint here. This is where Taurus season, you're embodying everything you set up Capricorn season for the actions to take, the knowledge to manifest Aqua season, the perception of the vision you have Pisces season, and the real authentic street team you move with here. And that's where, moving forward from Taurus season, you're now manifesting true value and returns. This is going to complete that eclipse cycle and align you more to the truth of who you are and the value of that truth. This is where any confusion coming up Pisces season about how to see yourself, because Pisces with Neptune may bring it's going to first of all bring you an intuitive insight of what will happen, but it's not going to be fully clear because we haven't cleared it yet out into Gemini, into the first house. So it's like showing you why something is before fleshing what that is. And you're going to flesh what that is with real relevant information Gemini season. This is where you're going to now start to initially manifest a buttload of income from what you manifested Aquarius season with that trine. The hard work is paying off very magically. And it has a lot, because remember, you're going to be networking a lot in this Aqua season because now you have product, now you have knowledge to network. Gemini season is where you start to see more people come in, more people start to really soak in this value, and this alludes you more into the truth of who you are. And so from June to Sagittarius season, you're building your character so that by Sagittarius season, the truth of who you are is what you're showing to people in relationships, and you're so much more stronger because you built your values, your attitude in Leo, your talents in Libra to really build this, which is more important because from Capricorn to Gemini, you're working with other people to now change your identity. The influence you have from, right, it's going to influence who you are, and then you're going to take your influence to influence who other people are coming the other way. So that's what leads into.
So as I influence others, then other people will be changed and influence me from the change in themselves from what I influence in them.
Exactly. And that illustrates you in the eighth house of other people, but the North Node coming to you. So the work you're doing for other people is uncovering more how awesome you are, pretty much, and how true, it's more of a narrative really that's unlocking a significant key to really align, like, oh, this is who I am. And then bam, Cancer season comes through. You're manifesting the value of the sincerity and the attitude of the sincerity. By then you've ascended, and it's come into more so. And for context, like, once I reached Sagittarius season, this gave me an idea of the potential of the income I can make. I didn't reach the realization that, oh, this is, I don't need a job anymore. But this was the first breakthrough of that, where it's like, oh my gosh, like I'm making a good living doing this. And so this is where this is going to break through for you, as far as like the attitude to match the beliefs in Capricorn. And then coming into Leo season, this is what's going to flesh out. Now that you've known this knowledge, you know it so much to where you're comfortable with it, you're comfortable expressing it more creatively, as if just learning it, where you still have to kind of master it. This is where you're going to, of course, master this knowledge into a deeper understanding. And I feel like the moon in Leo is going to flavor this year to be very, very, very passionate and fun. It's trining Chiron, so it's meant to really free more. It's still going to be challenging, because especially Chiron is going to free up more vulnerability to express this masculine sense of yourself, but the opposition to Saturn will make this pretty challenging. And it's T squaring Uranus. So that's what's going to challenge you to feel any uncomfort, to feel, because you're going to be introducing new ideas. You're going to be introducing new knowledge, progressive ways to look at things that will feel controversial to people with the square. And the moon in Leo is the courage to maintain that in the face of opposition. I feel like a huge major theme of this coming year is powerful levels of criticism at first, especially from scientists or people who feel like you're full of crap, because they're very intimidated by what you're bringing out, or they just don't agree, like they're very contrarian.
Yeah.
And so, you feel me? So like from Aquarius season to Taurus season, it's fielding that. It's bringing in that naysayer energy. From Taurus season to Leo season, it's actually showing improving. It's showing how you do know what you're speaking of. You know what you don't have to really explain it, because what you believe in speaks for itself. And with that experience, it's now less of a theory and more fact. And this is where you confront that same vibration that's critical and overcome that. And this is going to be a major critical key come Leo season, that pushes you further into the spotlight and makes you an authority, because now you've been challenged by other authorities and maintained that expertise through your wisdom and through just, keeping it real. Another thing to keep in mind with here is that your sun's in the 8th house, and then the signature of the sun and moon is Scorpio, because the moon in Leo is 8th house to Capricorn. So this is another transformation aspect that by Leo season will have you really intuitively way much more boldly and courageously express this part of yourself. Moving into Virgo season now, where the divine transcendence of aspects of your career direction and who you connect with now more practically manifest, realistically more avenues to creatively express yourself, to have more fun, to now draw on the support you have and create more of your heart's desires, because Pisces season is going to break you through into a new collective. After you express this knowledge, it could be a whole influx of people. This is your 12th house. And so that's going to prepare to release old personification of yourself, as Chiron is transiting your first and your transmutation instrument to trigger people's egos. Okay. And to really, even my ego, you trigger it. And I really appreciate that, with how you push me to work out, you know what I'm saying? And to do what I say. Like this is definitely one aspect of that. So it definitely is going to empower others through you. Coming into Libra season, your behavior and your lifestyle is now prepared to master itself. So one key indicator for Aries season coming into Taurus season, if you develop a new habit, a new routine, or release an old habit by Libra season, you've mastered it. Maybe if you started a new regimen or one new exercise, it could be more of a mental exercise.
What are you
And
doing?
Libra season is what's going to induce interpersonal relationships with others, to draw out the individual assertion of, with Mars here, the max power that lends into how you exhibit this behavior with other people. It's releasing old individual habits to free up more classic habits with other people that you might have held back from because you're so focused on certain individual means. But that's not so bad. Mars trine Venus, by the way, is going to make this a very passionate, a very dynamic, a very fun year, somewhat sexual too, because it's in the 8th and 12th. And coming into Scorpio season, this is going to manifest the value of who you've become and the extreme quality of depth in relationships through Scorpio season. So that by Sag, I feel like I think that's the main lesson. Sagittarius season is where you come through the South Node, you come through the Venus, and you take that treasure after you've ascended all year. And the true value you fleshed in Gemini is going to reflect in a very amazing quality of relationships you transform more intimately in. But I feel personally for you, your own treasure that will allow you to once again make obsolete old mechanisms of making money and connecting with people. And this is where Pisces season with the square and Gemini season will change your perception around how you deal with people and how you utilize certain abilities. Another thing is you're awakening superpowers all year too, because Pluto is of awakening. And so this is also another reason why you're gonna really be very popping this year, because like you're just gonna be awakening people left and right. You're already doing that. So I feel like it's just gonna be more so extending the knowledge of how. But one major feature I want to bring to this solar return reading and close is the Aquarius energy. That's legit. The square to Uranus is going to make it. It's going to make I feel like Saturn and Aquarius would just be the knowledge, but the square to Uranus is going to make the dissemination of the knowledge very fast. And you do have this in your second house. So this is like putting out that knowledge on YouTube and then instantly monetizing it, because like thousands of people see it and then it instantly cashes out in your second house unconventionally. And so that, yeah, it's a great breakthrough coming into February, into May, and stabilizing into August and completing in November. So keep me posted, bro, because this is definitely going to be huge. And yeah,
You know, it's funny because everything that you're saying is I've been actually feeling everything that you're saying, and I got this interesting opportunity for another business venture to go explore what's called conscious camming, basically blending spirituality with sexuality. And I figure that's kind of like a perfect 8-house mix. So I might be like a spiritual porn star pretty soon.
that makes sense. That's very Venus and Sag and Mars in Aries in the 12th. That makes a lot of sense.
Oi.
And then Chiron on Aries is sexual healing too.
That's me. I'm like, yes, I hear that. I hear
Shakti. Right.
I'm all about the sexual healing, baby, and I'm definitely feeling like I want to fucking jump more into that realm. I'm starting to realize that like conventional, typical monogamous relationships probably really aren't my thing.
Right.
I'm more like, you know, I'm a healer and I just want to spread love, man. I just want to have some fun.
I feel like Chiron there is gonna help you. Like people are gonna see you do it, and it's like it's gonna encourage them to not, because everything about this energy is inhibitive. So it's like people seeing you will be more likely to express their sexuality instead of suppress it. So I'm really glad you said that, because it does kind of have that kind of notion to it.
And he holds a goal. Oh, Sinead, you're a fucking riot. I love it.
You know what? Can I say something?
Yeah, sure.
It's funny because I'm gonna drop some shit right now. I have not really been attracted to you, Justin, but in the last few days, I've been looking at your videos and I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Well, thank you.
So here you go. Mikey, like always, is on the money.
I think her sun is on the Venus part in your chart too. So I think that's kind of revealing, like a sneak peek revealing. This could be how through her channel people start to see you this year too. Like, and that's another thing, because of the Venus in the 8th, like people will watch you and develop some kind of attraction to you. And so that's where the boundaries.
So we will meet in dreamland, just like with Mikey. We have had our thing in the dreamland. I will come visit you too.
That's also where the stalkers are going to come from, right?
Right. I especially coming in the Aries season because
Yeah, man. Hope, and it's funny because actually the course that I'm supposed to take actually starts in March.
March. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, that makes sense. We want to look from February to August. That's a major facet of this year. Like you're exponentially bumping up in follower count and people knowing you.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's karmically meant to happen, so that's also cool too.
Thank God, man. I definitely paid my dues with all this fucking karma shit.
Oh yeah, careful with the strokes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's, Mike had a situation where he had a stalker that thought that she was spiritually pregnant with your baby. Was that right?
Yeah, she watched a live video with me and said I got her spiritually pregnant.
It was two. It wasn't just one. It was two, wasn't it?
Oh, the second lady came from Portugal or Spain, I think, knocked on my door.
She overseas and knocked on your door. God damn, dude.
They were both Pisces, so I think it's a divine thing. I don't know. I'm flattered.
You're a spiritual pimp, bro. That's hilarious. So
it taught me about boundaries. That's for sure.
Well, dude, thank you so much, man. You got me all fucking fired up. I wanna talk a little bit more too about like the whole world thing and exactly what's going on, because I know you've been like, you know, sticking really close into the politics of things. Of course, like with this whole election thing going on is super fucking scandalous. But what do you like? I see some big shit happening like between like December 14th, December 21st area.
Oh, absolutely. December 14th is when the electors are decided, right? They decide by state. That's also that's the eclipse right on the president's moon and sun. So obviously, you know, it's going to center around him. And I don't like to talk about politics, but that's one thing right now that has most everyone's attention. And so because it correlates with Saturn, it's in Capricorn of decision making. So it's a collective decision that is more important, mainly just because it's a part of this apocalypse cycle that you saw. I mean, the fact that it started 1 degree Aries means it's very important we follow that. And ironically, Saturn in Aquarius is a collective test. So it's like you see all these people who are fighting each other, but the irony is we actually have to settle our differences and come together, because if we don't, we'll fail a collective test, and that's going to manifest in the division that we see more. But I mean, I feel like certain things follow a narrative. If anything, this is also the Great Awakening. So this is you know, very unconventionally through our bodies awakening so much deeper wisdom, and that's going to come into Aquarius, where once we finish, and it's amazing starting right now with the Jupiter Pluto conjunction, we're transforming in Scorpio, we're ascending in Sagittarius, coming in the full picture, and then the final true Great Awakening happens Capricorn, where all this major shift and turmoil, I mean, the Million MAGA March is happening tomorrow when Mars goes direct. So, you know, it's definitely going to shake some stuff up. And the purpose is to really character test everybody and see who you are. You're going to give in to the fighting and division. Like if I saw someone who voted opposite me, I'm not going to demonize. If they needed a place to stay and I don't let them stay somewhere because of that, I failed the character test. So it's really less about what side you're on. It's more the integrity through this, because everyone's going to get so caught up with distractions. The main purpose of this is awakening. It's really going back in what was happening before we all got distracted with this news. And, you know, those who kind of hold that light, when we go into Aquarius, that's all about what we're doing right now. Because organizations like we're going to be able to hold meetings and groups to connect with all our collectives, and it's going to massively bring in so much knowledge, so much light. And that's going to be our new currency, where all the work we've done on our own is going to all show for all of us coming together, like right now, right here, which is so awesome. Like so many different people who I have the opportunity to get to know. We're all going to be our own currency and like gather our forces and create this guild, which has everything to do with the decisions that led us up to this. And for people having Saturn returns this 2021, God bless y'all. For someone who just finished his Saturn return,
Yeah,
this is right. It's definitely been everything I wanted and more. But I feel like y'all are very important because y'all are going to contribute sociological knowledge to the collective to guide us forward. And y'all are the only Saturn that squares Pluto and Scorpio. So y'all are the ones that have to raise up against the old traditional taboo views of what people think. I feel like y'all are just going to be like, well, I'm going to wave my freak flag, but I'm going to lead our generation forward. And y'all are going to be the ones who stand up to that whole demonization of the occult or moving forward, even scientifically. I feel like Saturn and Aqua returns are the most important Saturn returns, actually, and the most difficult. The Saturn Cap, Saturn Aqua, Saturn Pisces is going to really make y'all leaders of the collective. And yeah, all power to y'all. Definitely going to be harsh, but also awesome.
That's good. So we're going to be having a couple major aspects starting next year. The two that I was really like drawn into looking at was of course the Saturn Uranus square, and also the Saturn sextile to Chiron.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about the sextile. The sextile is definitely going to be dope. The sextile to Chiron, I feel, is connecting with people who strengthen the sense of masculinity, your whether man or woman, masculinity you're asserting. And actually Chiron in Aries is more for women than it is for men, because that repressed masculinity that whether through gender roles or society has any type of implication that has ever made it to where women aren't supposed to express themselves masculinely. That's what this is for, to show actually no, women can do that. And men, this is of course repairing and bringing out whatever was suppressed in men too, so that both men and women can just be assertive without this need to like tiptoe around it. And the purpose of Capricorn was to align that with integrity. So you're honoring other people's space. The sextile is going to strengthen that. And really the square is the ticking time bomb that everyone feels as the tension is building. Tension is building, and that's going to be the catalyst. It's literally going to be the continuation of the Pluto Uranus square that we had from Capricorn to Aries.
Oh, okay.
Right. This one now in Aquarius, which is the collective, right? The hive mind. And what's very important to think here is as soon as Saturn entered Aquarius 2020, we got quarantined. So it's the limiting of social energy. We got censored. So you might see lockdowns or whatever, but that's going to square Uranus and Taurus. And Uranus and Taurus is the revolution of the individual value, the boycotting that'll take place, because it's like in an effort to combat the channels socially that will Saturn control the collective, people individually will now be manifesting their own value. For example, if I can't get into the Saturn Aqua control thing, then I'm going to create my own thing in Taurus. I'm going to create my own website. I'm going to create my own value. It doesn't have to clash like that, but that's one way we'll see it. I feel we're going to see all this come to a head worldwide, and it's not really bad as much as it is necessary to stimulate this intensity that Jupiter will expand forth. But I'm going to look into the sextile because I feel like that's also important too.
Absolutely.
Overlook.
Okay. So as far as in relationship to like the Pluto return and this whole, like, do you see the United States going into civil war?
Oh, absolutely. Except I realized I jumped the gun. Well, the thing is, we're already at war. That's the thing.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. True.
People are literally fighting, whether in court or whatnot, but it's really ideological right now. But I realized the Revolutionary War came before the Civil War. And when we had the Civil War, Neptune was in Aries and Uranus was in Gemini. And so this is a certain someone is leading America into the second revolutionary war of America. Like America is headed into a second revolution with the Pluto return. So we're going to have that first, which might be more of an economic war, might be more of an ideological war. The purpose of it is to split tensions. Exactly. Then Uranus is going to go into Gemini 25 to 27. After Neptune goes into Aries 25, this is going to create the conditions for another civil war.
And
that's going to be crazy.
Saturn's going to conjunct Neptune at the very end of Pisces, right? Which is going to be like a switch.
And I think the end of the veil too. Pluto's going to go into Aquarius. It's definitely going to change. I feel like Neptune in Pisces is fulfilling our legend, and it's stretching out neural pathways in our imagination that we can activate at will in Aries, and it'll be like an augmented reality. This is more of a theory, but like, I'm very excited what that's going to look like. I feel like we'd be able to summon avatars for real. Like,
yeah, in a couple of years, we're going to be using telepathy. Fuck cell phones. We're just going to be using our psychic gifts and shit. It's going to be pretty. I think
there'll be technology that augments that too, that helps us do that.
When?
Probably. What's up, Serena? You say something?
Oh, I'm so sorry. My bad.
That's okay. Yeah. So wow. So
I hate to interrupt. You're going to be a main leader of this, by the way, because your sun's in Capricorn and your moon's in Aqua. So that's the collective responsibility of any Cap, any Sag, any Pisces, any Aqua. It's like y'all have to lead us right now, because your power is awakening first. It's the collective awakening that you'll go around people and people awaken individually. Just because, you know, Shakti, you gave someone a handshake, Justin, just because you spoke to someone, like, this is creating that trend. So all power to y'all, because this intensity is very stressful. It's not easy, for sure. And I'm proud of everyone here, because we're all feeling into this in a certain way, and
100%.
The whole space.
Yeah, I'm definitely already feeling like I'm having that effect on people. But I've still been coming into this place where like I'm like I must be still taking on people's energy to a certain extent, because I got like real sick like a couple weeks ago. Like I got hit hard, but I'm feeling better now. And now it's like I'm actually feeling a lot clearer, a lot like almost like free. Like I freed myself from some kind of bondage, or maybe it was like a yod in my birth chart that I cleared. So I don't know, but I cleared some big shit.
I think that's Pluto.
Yeah, well,
sure.
yeah, that's a good point. We did just have the Pluto Jupiter conjunct exact, and it's right on the cusp, my 9th and 10th house.
Oh, nice. Okay, not like out of the 9th into the 10th. Yeah.
Yeah, the 23rd degree is I'm 23-degree Aries rising.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so all the squares between Mars and all those planets have been right on my ascendant and the cusp of my 9th and 10th house. So I definitely feel like I'm purging a lot of shit, preparing for next year. So you just confirmed a lot of shit that I've been feeling. I appreciate you, man. I always like, every time you do this for me, man, it gets me all fucking hyped up and excited and shit. So I want to make sure that will you put your contact information in the chat so everybody can follow you on social media and check out this dude. He has some of the funniest fucking skits, guys. Like, if you want to know anything about Black Moon Lilith, like I reference that information out to everyone. And maybe if you're feeling up for it, man, you want to give the community like maybe like a discount for like a reading if they want to get a reading from you.
Yeah, actually, I was literally doing that right now. I do have a special discount code that's going to run to the 21st.
Okay.
And if that runs out, I will update it. So if it runs out by the time you use it, just let me know, shoot me an email, and I got you. It'll get you 50% off everything on my store. And everything's on sale right now too, so it'll get it even more off. But let's see.
All right.
Oh, nice. That was a funny skit.
Hell yeah. So anybody have any questions? And still, Emma, before we sign off, I'd like to have you pull a card for us too.
Oh yeah, that's no problem.
I have a small question, or maybe not so small, but can you repeat the method that you just did? You're saying whatever, like, let's say today we're in what season are we on? Oh, it's Scorpio season. So whatever we see in this season is gonna be manifested in Taurus season. Is that sort of how it
Yeah.
goes?
I think I learned that from Lotta and or Christopher, but like I think it was Christopher Techie, but it's definitely so like the new moon cycle that you have, let's say this new moon in Scorpio that we're having right now, in 6 months from now in Taurus season, that's the natural manifestation cycle. Especially if you think of it in terms of the lunar cycle, you have the new moon and then the full moon 2 weeks later. And the full moon is supposed to harvest what we activated. Of course, like the first week, which is the first quarter square activation. Then the second one is integration of energy that's activated. Then it's full. And then from that to the third quarter square, you're harvesting what manifested. And then you're clearing the field so that when it comes new again, you plant new. So you can take that month cycle and apply it to the transits for the sun, which is 6 months out to the opposite, which is a great question. So there's 6 months out, but then 3 months is like a checkpoint in between that 6 months to see, do I still want to manifest like that? So really great question.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you.
No
That's a great way to if you're gonna do like a full moon or a new moon ceremony or set intentions, that's a great way to do a full, very specific, like manifestation process to look at, like the energetic meaning behind the energies of the full moon and the new moon. That's why like understanding these energies is so important, okay? Because they're all gonna influence us in a different way. Greg, what's up, buddy? Better late than never, man. I appreciate you jumping on here. All right, so Emma, please grace us with your presence. Actually, Mike, I'm gonna have my girl Emma over here pull a card.
okay, okay. I thought you said you wanted me to pull one, or she wanted me to pull one. Perfect.
She's been doing it here for the last few months, so it's a tradition we've created. So
that's awesome.
I appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you.
Thanks, Nahum. No, I really do appreciate all you guys. I really love setting up my Saturday with presenting you these cards as they get more and more interesting each week. And thanks, Mike. I know I've listened to your the victory invocation ceremony and a few of the other ceremonies that have been happening the last few months. So I know I found them super powerful and super interesting. So if people on the call haven't checked them out, I would suggest you do so. So today's card, again, I've taken it from the Beyond Lemuria deck, is 49, the infinite. And I thought, following on from some of the cards we've had earlier this week, obviously with 11/11 and new moon coming up as well, definitely I think a super powerful piece. And I think this really, I suppose, lots of feathers and the beautiful rainbow light head really sort of showed me around, makes me think about the kind of phoenix rising from the ashes. So I think that's quite indicative of what's happening at the moment. So the message is to go with that. The divine message is about this card of rebirth appears after challenges that have required a level of surrender. You have arrived at a beginning. Revel in your newfound inner freedom. Blockages have fallen away, doors are opening, and there are opportunities to step into. Stretch your wings and see how far they can reach. Rise from the ashes like a phoenix, born anew, ready for a new cycle of growth. Celebrate, honour the road that brought you here, and prepare to take flight with the tools you have gathered through your elevation process.
Beautiful.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Emma. And thank
Post that on the page.
For showing up, Mike. I fucking love you, man. Dude, you ever want to get a training session, man? You know I'm here, man. Just fucking hit me up.
Oh, I will. I'm gonna get back on the Uforia. I wanted to talk to you about that too.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think, Mikey, you should, considering that you are so deep into your fucking junk shit show. Get out of the junk food show and get fucking training.
Yes, yeah, and then I'll make it only.
Hey, Mike's put in the work. It's okay. Just one step at a time. Sincerely, I fucking love you guys. Thank you all for showing up. Mike, again, I love you, man. Super Homie Squad representing.
Likewise.
Yeah, I think we should do this again, brother. This is a lot of fun. So
Agreed.
I will I will post this. I'll share it to you, so you're welcome to post it if you want. And other than that, you guys have a beautiful weekend. Enjoy your new moon in Scorpio. It's gonna be lit. All right, and yeah, that's all I got for you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
So, guys.
Have an awesome weekend.
Likewise.
Thank you.